Member for Labrie.
Thank you very much, Madam President, Mr. Speaker. I join my parliamentary colleagues in expressing heartfelt sympathy to the family of the Honorable Arsene James. I would also like to express condolences to the family on behalf of my own family and constituents. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, an anonymous author once wrote, and I quote, "In the democracy of the dead, all men are equal. The poor man is as rich as the richest, and the rich man as poor as the pauper. There the proud man surrenders his dignity, the politician his honors. The wrongs of time are redressed, and the irony of fate is refuted." And I want to re-echo a quotation by Andrew Jackson that the leader of the opposition actually reached out for earlier, that when death comes, he respects neither age nor merit. He sweeps from this earthly existence the sick and the strong, the rich and the poor, and should teach us to live, to be prepared for death. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, it is certainly not my place to preach about preparation for death. I am sure the Minister of Religion will speak to that preparation before committing the body of our departed brother to the bosom of the grave. I will not speculate whether he migrated to the silent continents of eternity, voluntarily or involuntarily. But certainly, as the member for Beaufort North indicated, I'm probably one of the few who knew Mr. James in this house prior to elective politics, because he was our principal at the Beaufort Senior Secondary School. I remember him as a sober and serious man. So serious that he only smiled for a microsecond and immediately wiped that smile off his face until he got something good to laugh about, and he would laugh for 40 days and 40 nights. But he never had a painted smile, Madam President, Mr. Speaker. He was always a humble and decent man. And I remember a quotation by Thomas Goethe, and I quote, "The Christian is like the ripening corn. The riper he grows, the more lonely he bends his head." He was always a calm and peaceful soul in this house. I remember on one occasion, I tried to tease the honorable member. He was on his feet, and he was saying something that I was in disagreement with. And I attempted to tease him. And he said to me, "Alva, don't forget I was your principal." And I immediately retreated to that moment when I entered Form 4 and remained there instead of responding as a member of this honorable house. On another occasion, he came to Labrie in a ceremony. And as the parliamentary representative for Labrie, I welcomed him to the People's Republic of Labrie. And he said, "Alva, I knew Labrie before you." That was the type of individual he was. Benjamin Franklin said, "After crosses and losses, men grow humbler and wiser." You see, Madam President, Mr. Speaker, you cannot be in politics without taking blows, without people trying to malign your honor. This is why Alva Romanus Baptiste, born at Martin Luther Street, Labrie, in 1967, has assumed a posture that he shall never attempt to malign anybody in this house or outside of this house. What I say and think about you when you are alive, I will say the same thing when you are dead. We are passing through this world. We are in-transit passengers, waiting for our boarding call. And whilst I speak about crosses and losses, I listen to members opposite speak, my colleagues in government, and it seemed that they have reflected since the death of the Honorable Arsene James and want to emulate his fine example of humility, decency, being nice, being friendly, and not being, just for the people that voted for them, but for everybody. And I welcome that. They are searching for an entirely new beginning in the politics, Mr. Speaker. And I welcome that. We are very happy for this acknowledgement, because the best tribute you can pay to anyone is to try to emulate the fine example. But you see, the parliament of this country is a place where we must debate. A lot of people talk about us, this parliament, we always debating and we always quarreling. That's our job, Mr. Speaker, Madam President. We are here to debate the issues of the day, to debate the course of government, to make laws and amend laws. Most of the time we come to this parliament, we agree, We sit in committee stage and we amend bills and we exchange. Most of the time we agree. But there will be points of collision. And I'm hoping that the acknowledgement on the part of the government that the time has come for them to emulate the fine example of our brother who just left this particular dimension and entered into another dimension in the new universe of life. That you took that page from him. And do not make it look like we come here today and nice words, and by next week you hear Grindberg and Rochamel and those kind of things. I am hoping that those issues are buried. Now, only time will reveal. Only time will reveal, Madam President, Mr. Speaker, whether members opposite are serious about ensuring that Mr. James, like Mr. James, that our deliberations should be a survey of contending views and ideas. Long live this parliament. Long live the people of Micoud. And Madam President, Mr. Speaker, I will continue to keep the family of our brother, Honorable Arsene James, in our prayers. May you rest in perfect peace, my comrade. According to the late judge, we'll see in Valhalla someday. Thank you.